Hey everybody, how's it going? Andrew here, and today I'm gonna be doing a video that's nothing like any video I've ever done, and I feel like I've been saying that a lot, which is good, you know, I'm stepping outside my comfort zone. Most of the time, YouTubers are fantastic and super nice, and honestly, not all these stories are really bad. Some of them are just like weird encounters, but today I'm talking about the rudest YouTube experiences I've ever had. So to start, I'm actually not gonna name this person only because they're Canadian and I feel like there's a chance that they'll see it. And I also considered myself to be friends with them for a while. So this is like pretty shade throwing. But they're a Canadian YouTuber who we met through a mutual friend, and after we met, a couple months later, I ended up stumbling upon their channel and watching their videos and thinking, wow, they actually make really good videos. And they went to some Canadian gathering that I went to, and that was when we first really started hanging out. And when we hung out, I realized this person's got like a really cool perspective about their job, and I enjoy their videos. So I guess I found this respect for this person. So the next time there was a Toronto gathering, this person actually asked me if they could come stay with me with their friend, and I figured, why not? I mean, we hung out once, you and your buddy seemed really cool. Yeah, sure. And so they come and stay at my place for a weekend, and over the course of this weekend, you know, we're hanging out the entire time. So we're getting food, we go shopping, we go to this YouTube gathering. I considered us friends at the end of it all. I'm not the type of friend that like texts people constantly if I don't think I'm gonna see them anytime soon. I'll text somebody who I'm friends with in a different city if I think I'm gonna be in that city soon, but otherwise I don't really keep up with them. For that reason, it took me quite a long time to realize that both he and his friend who stayed with me, out of the blue, unfollowed me months later. And just because it was both of them and not just one, I have to feel like they had a conversation about me. And from my perspective, like, it sucks because I didn't do anything. I considered us friends. I would understand if like I was annoying, but I never like talked to them aside from that. Honestly, it is what it is. I actually still like this person's videos, but kind of salty about the fact that they just don't like me anymore. Okay, so this next person, Weekly Chris Collins. I actually met him at 2013 Digitour that came to Toronto. That was back when it was like the British people, Zoe, Alfie, them, and O2L. That was Digitour. I wasn't a part of the event. I bought a ticket with my friend who is also a YouTuber, and we go, and it's a crowd filled with girls. And we're honestly, our objective here is kind of to like find a way to get backstage and, I don't know, meet the people who are on Digitour. And so we go in, and I have a bright idea to get us backstage. And basically what I do is we work our way close to the front of the crowd, and we start talking to these girls. And this is actually kind of like a weird moment, but I realized I wanted to ask these girls to pretend to freak out over us so we go backstage. So I didn't know how to do it, and so I looked at my wallet and was like, maybe I could like pay these girls a small amount. And I got like a $5 bill. So I probably went about this in the worst possible way, but I tap on one girl's shoulder and I was like, hey, how would you girls like to make some money? I obviously stopped myself and was like, wait, let me rephrase that. And I explained to them what I want, where basically, hey, I'm looking to get backstage, and I was hoping when the music dies down, y'all could just pretend you knew who we were and we would get backstage. And over the course of me explaining this, more and more heads start to turn until there's like a good 10-15 girls listening in. And right when I'm done explaining it, whoever's on stage, I guess, finishes their set, and everything goes quiet for a second, and I just look around and say, now. And everybody freaks out, and we just walk through, because we're already near the front, we just walk through towards the gate, and the security guard just opens it for us because he can assume what's going on. Walk past him, go to the guy blocking the door at the back, and he goes, I need to see your backstage pass. I tell him I don't have one. He responds, you know, I can't let you backstage without a pass. And I just look over my shoulder and go, I'm gonna get eaten alive if I go back up there. You can't send me back. And he looks at me and looks back, and you know, clearly guys not getting paid enough to care that much, so he just opens the door and lets us in. Can we just say, that was some quality acting on my end, okay? I was very proud of that. This has been a moment that I've bragged about in secret to quite a number of people. So we ended up going backstage and hanging out with, you know, all of the people there. And the two people in particular who were the nicest and most down to hang out with us was Weekly Chris and his sister. So by the end of the night, everyone's gotta get back on their tour bus. except for Weekly Chris's sister, because they were guests there. They weren't officially on the tour. So my buddy and I just asked, hey, you guys wanna go get some poutine? And they're down, so we go get poutine, and it was really cool. We ended up exchanging numbers, and didn't really talk much after that. But the only other time that I talked to Chris, and this is where it gets salty, is playlist Tri-State years later, where we were both at the same party for most of the night, and then I go up to talk to Andrea Russet because I think she's a total babe, and her and I are talking, and it's very early on in the conversation, but I'm like, yo, over here trying to flirt, and Chris comes up and goes, yo, Andrew, what's up? How you doing? It's been years since I've seen you. What's going on? And I'm over here like, this is the time and you choose to come up and talk to me? I've been sitting over there all night, and now? So he's so invested in this conversation that while I'm responding to him, I'm talking to him, and Andrea ends up talking to somebody else and then like walks away. So Chris, man, you blew it for me. Okay, so this next one, this is one of the juiciest ones I got. This is another person I'm not gonna name because it's like an honestly pretty good shot that she'll see it. I was friends with a bunch of guys who were in this collab channel, and she was in her own collab channel. And we were all hanging out at a VidCon one of these years, not sure which one, probably 2014 or 13. I was hanging out with my friends, she was hanging out with her friends, our friends were friends, so we were all in one big group. And she was honestly, she's really pretty, and I'd seen her collab channel before, so I kind of knew who she was, but she didn't know who I was, which is fine. It's not about that, I just want to hang out with good people and have a good time. I was there to see my friends. So we're all hanging out, and I keep getting this kind of vibe that she doesn't want to talk to me. And I mean, I just can't help but like feel it when people don't know who you are, that they're thinking like, oh, like you must not be popular, so I don't care. That was the vibe that I got from her. And that kind of just got proved later on in the night when we'd been hanging out for a few hours, and someone was like, oh my god, let's all follow each other on Twitter. And so everybody follows everybody, and you know, just a few days later, I go to Twitter and notice that she and one of her friends unfollowed me. Some of the people in her collab channel didn't, and they were like, they actually talked to me later and were like super, super cool. So I'm not throwing shade at all of them, but just she herself was one of those people that unfollowed. And I don't care. I got the vibe from the beginning that we weren't gonna be friends, and like throughout the night, it's not like I was trying to hang out with her or anything. I just, you know, hung with the people that I was friends with and the people who were nice. And so years have gone by since then to 2016 playlist when I finally see her again. Actually, she saw me because we were at the same party in this hotel room, and I was walking from one side of the room to the other, just getting a drink and then walking away. And as I'm going, I hear, Andrew, oh my god. And obviously, 2 years go by, times have changed. I don't know if it's because, you know, my numbers have gotten bigger or what, but suddenly this girl is my best friend. She comes up to me like, Andrew, oh my god, do you remember when we hung out, like, at that VidCon forever ago? That was so much fun. Oh my god, do you still talk to this person, this person? And me completely realizing what's going on and actually didn't like talk to me at all previously, I just look over and go, yeah, that was fun. I still hung out with them. And then I realized that she's actually there with a mutual friend of both of ours, and I go from being like, yeah, to turning and being like, yo, what up, dude? How's it going? And just being really buddy-buddy. That was probably the shadiest I've ever been in my life. But you know, you can't play both sides. You can't dislike someone and be rude when they're not popular, and then suddenly be nice to them one day because, I don't know, they seem more popular now. And that was very much the vibe that I got from her, and I hate that. I hate when people are that disingenuous. I find that's a very like LA thing. Not to say everyone in LA is like that, but there's a lot of people who just, you know, wanna social climb. And not to say I'm even like a valuable person in social climb because I'm not very popular at all, but I don't know. I can't think of any other reason. Lastly, this is one that is straight drama, but I'm also not actually at all upset about it. Jack's Films, Jack Douglas, I think he's one of, if not the funniest people on YouTube. And I had met him through some mutual friends and at parties, and he was always super nice. Nothing bad to say there. And he also, like, we follow each other on Twitter, and yeah, No disrespect to any of that. However, as I'm sure most of you know, my channel grew because I was doing these relationship videos, and I gotta say that the first half of me doing these videos were really cringy, and the second half were me kind of making jokes about myself. But in the first half, I was dead serious giving relationship advice, and in between these videos, I put out a video on feminism. I'm of the opinion that Jack saw that and parodied it, because 1 week later, he put out a video parodying basically like YouTube fuckboys trying to be relatable and talking about feminism. And that, like, 100% I understand why he would watch my video and have thought that was me. And so I have a very strong suspicion, because of how shortly after my video his went up, that it was about me. And if that's the case, I am in no way offended at all. To get parodied or joked about by like somebody who I really respect, that's like nothing but a compliment to me. You know, was I making cringy videos? Absolutely. Was that video cringy? Probably. I don't remember it, but yeah, probably. So, in no way salty about it. Please, Jack, make fun of me more. That's all I want. But yeah, that's the tea. Anyways, I hope that this was a juicy enough video for you. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. I make videos weekly, so if you're not subscribed to me, why not? Do that. You can follow me on Instagram. It's just my name, Andrew Quo. The link will also be in the description. You should check that out. And yeah, without that being said, I'll see you next time. Peace!